This is the best budget RGB LED light tube I have found recently. This is the LUXCEO RGB LED light tube. Let's get started. Let's get straight to the point. This $95 video photo light is mainly made out of clear plastic, not glass. The plastic is pretty thick, so I don't think it will break that easily, but it will definitely get scratched easily if you don't use the carrying bag that comes with the light. In terms of color temperature, you cannot choose between 3000 Kelvin and 5750 Kelvin. You can only choose either 3000 Kelvin or 5750 Kelvin. That was a little disappointing. When it comes to CRI Colour Accuracy, I found that it has a very slight green tint compared to all my other lights at around 56,000 Kelvin daylight balance. So try not to mix this light tube with other lights. But the green tint can be fixed pretty easily in post, so it is not a huge problem if you're using this light only. I found that the 3000 Kelvin and RGB mode are more accurate in terms of colors, mainly because color lights are easier to blend together. The direction of light coming out of the LUXCEO tube is about 180 degree, not 360 degree as advertised on the website. And you can only control the coverage of light by using maybe tape, because it doesn't come with any light modifier like barn doors. The reason why it is only 180 degrees is because they only have LEDs on one side of the tube, and they have this very ugly piece of paper inside the tube behind the LED, advertising what this light tube is, and I really don't like that. I tried removing it, but I didn't want to break the light, so I stopped. Seriously, who thought this is a good idea? It makes me feel like this is a product from 20 years ago. When it comes to brightness, the LUXCEO RGB light tube is very bright. They use different sets of LED for 3000 Kelvin, 5750 Kelvin, and RGB. Because of all the colors that you can choose from, you can use this light as a key light, hair light, fill light, practical light, and more. The battery life of the LUXCEO RGB tube is very good as well. I was trying to test the battery life by leaving the light at max brightness, and I could only kill 1/4 of the battery after an hour. So that's why some people use this light as a camping light as well. Since the battery life is so good, it will take a longer time to charge the light because of the battery capacity. One suggestion I have if you are getting this light is to test the charging. Some people said they cannot charge the light after using it, so just do what I did. Try to leave the light on to get at least 1 bar of the battery lower, then try to see if you can charge it back up. This kind of quality control issues, it's not too surprising at this price point. To control the light, you can either use the button at the top of the tube or the remote, and they do the same thing. I don't use the remote because I don't want to carry another small item when I'm on set. You can turn the light on and off by one click of the button, and you can change mode by clicking the same button twice. If you want to change the brightness, just click and hold the button and it will get either brighter or dimmer. If it is going to the wrong brightness direction, just let go and click and hold the button again. Just like that. Since there's no display on the light, the biggest problem when setting brightness is you don't know what level you're at. So it is very hard to go back to the previous brightness accurately. If you turn off the light, it will stay at the last color mode and brightness. At least that's pretty good. To be honest with you, I mainly use this light in daylight mode and constant color RGB mode only. There are a couple of effect modes like color rotation mode and lighting mode, but they are not that practical to my style of filming. In terms of mounting the light, there is a 1/4 inch thread at the bottom of the light, so you can mount it on pretty much any regular tripod. This is a tripod mount, and that is very convenient. But keep in mind, if you want to keep this light plugged in, you cannot use the 1/4 inch mount because that's where the charging port is at as well. If you want to keep the light plugged in, you can still hang the light with the ring at the top of the light. You can maybe even tape the light at a spot because the light tube is very light. The light tube is very light. Yeah, that's right. Talking about plugging in the light, you need to remove the bottom cap where the 1/4 inch thread is at to get to the charging port. You can use the micro USB port to charge the light. The full-size USB port is actually for you to use the light to charge other devices, like your phone. Yes, this is also a power bank. I really don't know who came up with this idea, but it sounds even more like a camping light than a video or photo light now because of that function. You will also see a rubber seal when you open the cap at the bottom because this light is IP68 waterproof. That's what they claim, but I wouldn't risk putting this light underwater. Rain or splashes should be okay, which is not bad at all already. Let's talk about practical uses of this light. You might be wondering if you can use this light as a key light, and the answer is yes. At max brightness, this light is too bright to even look at. So I would suggest you to set it at around 50% brightness if you want to use it as a key light. Again, you can only eyeball the brightness because there's no display on the light. Because of the light tube shape, the light is relatively soft compared to other LED panels and wands. So using it as a key light, it will give you a pretty soft light wrapping around the talent's face. I would suggest you to position the light tube a little bit more horizontally to get a more even light wrap on the face. If you want to have a more contrasty look, position it more vertically. Another way to use it as a key light is to point this light at a white surface, for example a white wall, and bounce the light back to have a softer and even bigger surface of light. This light tube is definitely bright enough for you to bounce the light. As I said before, the light tube is so light that I even asked my friend to hold on to the light tube on set and follow me with the camera, so I have a moving key light for my subject. If you want to extend the light even further, you can mount it on a monopod and ask someone to boom the light out. They usually call it Hollywood the light on set. Since you can mount the light very easily, you can also use it as a hair light by placing it on top of your head. A long tube shape is always very good as a hair light. Also, you can use it as a motivated fill light or edge light with the RGB mode. Let's say if you have a practical light with a specific color, you can set this light tube to that color to shine on the talent just for a little bit to give it more dynamic to the shot. It is also pretty cool to use it as an actual practical light in the background. Compared to other LED light tubes, this is definitely a lot more budget friendly. If you get a couple of these, you can set them up in the background for, let's say, a music video. I didn't really talk about the remote because it is one of those very flimsy, hard to press kind of remote, and it is only useful when you cannot reach the light tube and you still want to adjust the light. I personally don't use the remote, but definitely test it when you get the light because of quality control issue again. That's it. Those are my thoughts on the LUXCEO RGB LED light tube. I really like this light mainly because of the convenience and practicality. I can pack this light in my backpack easily and have such a powerful light for so many different uses on set. If I can only bring one light with me on set, I will definitely bring this one instead of my LED panels or LED cubes. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.